Karen from Countyfairgrounds USA, countyfairgrounds.net. Welcome to today's podcast.
Do I have Tim Bortner of Bortner Shows out of Ohio?
Yes.
Hi, Mr. Bortner. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing fine. Okay, so you're a carnival company out of Ohio. I take it then that you cover Ohio and Pennsylvania. Is that right?
Yes. Our full name is Bortner Shows Midway, LLC.
Okay. And how long have you been doing this?
We've been in business for 6 years as of this year.
All right. Do you want to tell the listeners a little bit about what it is you do and, maybe how you got started?
Yeah, so we started with food for about 8 years. I did food concessions, and then I progressed to rides and inflatables, and then games, and then more food. And we've come to where we are now. We currently have 3 mechanical kiddie rides and 4 inflatable rides, 14 games, 6 food stands, trucks, trailers, bunkhouses, campers, ticket booths, everything in between, offices, all that fun stuff. And we do close to 36 fairs and festivals all over Ohio and Pennsylvania between the months of May and November. And we were progressing pretty largely. We were actually booked about 15 new fairs this year. So we're just growing at a rapid speed.
So you must have quite a big staff by now.
Well, we would like to, but we don't. In 2019, we had about 24 people. This past year, we had maybe 10. Our staff was very limited because of no one wanted to work, and it was a struggle. We had family and friends coming out to help us every single week. This year, we've already have about 10 people signed up, so we're hopeful that it's going to be a better year. But there's no guarantee of that either.
No, I know if anybody else doesn't. COVID has caused a lot of problems. So has that caused problems for you?
Yes, it has. I mean, we were completely shut down in 2020. We did some private rentals and some private catering parties and things like that for food and some inflatables, but none of the rides went out. None of the games went out, and every single fair and festival that we had scheduled for that year canceled, which is understandable. We get it. It was a major pandemic. It's still going on. We still have a few events that have canceled, even for this coming year. So it is what it is. There's nothing we can do. Mm-hmm. We all kind of struggled through it, but I'm happy that last year was very successful with the pandemic. I'll tell you, when we first started, our first official fair was at the beginning of June, and it was very busy. And we did very well, and then slowly it went downhill after the middle of July, and then it just continued to go downhill after that. And I think that might be because of the new variant that came out.
Right, the Omicron variant.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it just slowly started to go steadily downhill from there. But we're hopeful that this year is going to be another successful year.
I feel for you, Mr. Bortner, but I feel for a lot of the fairs. There's been a lot of fairs that have gone completely out of business and just plain aren't going to come back. So
fairs and carnival companies. There's like 5 in Ohio alone that have just closed up shop and won't even come out anymore after COVID. And there's quite a few fairs that have shut up and not come up, and there's quite a few fairs that aren't even coming into Ohio anymore because of some new strict guidances that have come down from the state level for amusement safety.
Okay, so how did you get into this? I'm curious. Have you ever done anything else?
I'm a graphic designer. I own a graphic design business, and I run a nonprofit out of the area where I live. And I went to school for graphic design and business and marketing. And those are my passions, but my true love is carnival. I have grown up loving it. I love everything about it. I have researched and did it. I went to every fair and festival in my hometown, and I loved everything about it, and that's all I've ever wanted to do. And that's what I'm doing now because I love it. It makes me happy.
Okay. I always ask, do you have a family?
I do. Yes, I do. My family's involved in it, and my spouse is involved in it, and we're all heavily involved in it. It's important to us.
All right, all right. So now tell me some of your best experiences.
Best experiences with the carnival. My favorite experience overall, every spot, every event that we go to, is seeing the families and the kids happy. Because I've noticed a lot of companies are in the business to make the money and all that. We always try and put that separate in our business. We try and put the families and the children and the kids that we serve and the communities that we serve first. So when we walk around the Midway and we see those people happy, and we realize, to some of these communities and towns that we serve, because we do a lot of festivals, this is sometimes the only thing that comes to their town in the entire year is their festival. And to make those communities happy, that makes me happy. And that, I think, is the best experience that I have had doing it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Then I have to ask, too, the other question. What bad experiences have you had?
Well, you get those. Everyone gets those, complaints and comments, and people that are mad about prices or about generators go down and rides go down, and just the short-staffed was a big thing last year. People were mad because there wasn't enough staff, so things were taking longer than it should have been, like at our food stands and things like that, and games and stuff. But there's always one person that complains and causes some type of problem, and we deal with it. We have an in-house HR person that deals with each customer, and if there's a problem, we handle it in-house and we take care of it. But we always try and fix the problem too. So if there's always a problem with the customer, our goal is to fix it and make it right and make those people happy. So we try to do that in every way possible. But of course, there are some people that aren't happy either way. So it's sad, but it's true.
Yes, I'm fully aware of this. Okay. So in your carnival, what's your favorite item? What's your most loved thing?
The rides. Absolutely the rides. I started out with a kiddie Ferris wheel when I first started, and then I progressed to buying inflatables and then games and then food and then more rides. And my Ferris wheel was my first ride. It's a 15-foot kiddie Ferris wheel, and it's my favorite out of everything. It took a break. It broke down a couple of years ago, and it's now in the shop getting redone for this year. But it's supposed to be back this summer, and I'm looking forward to it because it's my favorite. And it's the first ride I ever bought, so it means something.
So what other rides do you have?
So other than the Ferris wheel, I have a 14-foot slide. I have 2 bounce houses, one with a slide, one with a kiddie slide, and then I have a inflatable obstacle course. And then I have a dinosaur go round. They're little dinosaurs that go on hills around in a circle. And then I have a new ride that I bought last year is a rabbit racer, and it's a venture rabbit that goes around on hills in a circle. And then this year we bought the dinosaur go round. They're dinosaurs that go around in a circle. And then we have games as well and food.
Okay, so what new rides would you like to have?
Well, we're always growing. Last year I bought 2 rides. I sold one and I bought another one. So I'm always adding every year. And we're looking at different pieces now. We're looking at a couple bigger kids rides, some teens and adults to add, because that's the growing need at some of these fairs that we're booking, is that they want something bigger for bigger kids, but also they love the smaller kids stuff. So we gear towards the younger kids. But so we're looking at a swing. We're looking at some different ones. A swing is our next one, I think, that we're looking at getting, but it's not a guarantee. It's one of our goals.
So I have to ask, of course, when you go set up someplace, you're pretty self-contained. You manage to set up yourself, and you don't eat anything from...
No, from the fair, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, not really. We have our own generator. There are some events that will provide us with our own power for inflatables. We have our own generators. We have our own office. We have ticket booths. Everything is self-contained. We have our own games and our own food. We don't usually book independents with us, but there are occasionally we'll book an independent food vendor or independent game with us, but we normally have enough of our own equipment that we can pull the entire event and do it ourselves if we need to. But we will mostly cater to smaller fairs and festivals that can't get the bigger ride companies because they're too large to book the bigger rides in.
All right. What about insurance? Are you insured?
Absolutely. Safety is number one to us. It's our number one priority overall. And it should be for every amusement company, I think. And we hold $1 million liability on everything that we own. All of our rides, our inflatables, our games, and our food are all insured. And then we also are licensed to the state of Ohio through the Department of Agricultural of Amusement Ride Safety. We're also licensed to the state of Pennsylvania. I'm a ride inspector for the state of Pennsylvania, and we have our certification there. And we have independent inspectors that come out in Ohio that inspect the rides here. And then my business partner, he is the food safety guy, so he has his ServSafe, and we have all of our food licenses through Ohio and Pennsylvania as well.
Okay, so what fairs specifically would you really like to do? Maybe I can put a plug in for you.
Well, I mean, we're always looking for fairs. I mean, there's always interests on what ones I want to do, but I don't think we're large enough to get to that size yet. We're pretty much booked up for this year. We have a couple events, a couple of weeks open, but nothing too crazy.
So how old are your kids?
I actually don't have any kids.
Oh, you don't have any kids?
I do not, no.
Oh, okay. Well, I always ask my people that when I interview people because it's interesting to find out if the kids go into their parents' parents' gig or if they don't. And some of them actually do. It's been really interesting. So, okay, well, I've enjoyed talking to you. Do you have any further comments? But you should tell people before we hang up exactly how they can reach you if they're interested in working with you.
Yes, so our company is Bortner Shows Midway, LLC. Our website is Bortner, BORTNER, shows, SHOWS.com. And our number is 330-892-8318. Our slogan is clean, safe, colorful, family fun. Just to talk a little bit real fast, if I can, about our employees and what we do. We do also all of our employees go through a very strict training that at least I've never seen anyone else do on any other carnivals, but we not only do we train them on how to run the equipment, but we train them on how to work with the public and how to work with different diversities as well as disabilities and cultures so that they know how to handle situations when they come arise. They're also trained on how to be professional and be clean and courteous, and that's very important to us. Professionalism is one of our number one priorities. Working with everyone is one of our number one priorities as well, so that's very important to us. And every single one of them are background checked. Every single one of them are drug tested. Every single one of them have to wear company shirts with their logo on them and name tags with their names on them and our logo on them. So we're very strict on that, and I think it sets us apart from some amusement companies because of the amount of training that we put our employees and our staff through. So I think that's very important.
Yeah, I think it depends on the amusement company, but it's good that you put a plug in for that, and our listeners will like to hear that. Okay, Mr. Bortner, I've enjoyed talking to you, and we'll get this up for you, and hopefully it'll help.
All right, thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.